We thanking you. We thanking you, brother. Trick, trick. Pa pou an wete ba moun flen la yo mange a kite la vi. Appreciye sa yo ka fe ko yo apami nou jodi. La se mouve vale pie non nou ka konsipe moun evi. Faut nous connaître pour meilleur, c'est pour nous tout ça bénéfice. For all the wonders you done for us all, spreading the culture all over the world. For all the good things that you done for God, that's what makes. We thanking you. We thanking you, brother. Trick, trick. Pour tout ça. Yes, I. Sakai malade. Prince Wadix. Prince Wadix. Prince Wadix. Prince Wadix. Pa pou an wete ba moun flen la yo mange a kite la vi. Appreciye sa yo ka fe ko yo apami nou jodi. La se mouve vale pie non nou ka konsipe moun evi. Faut nous connaître pour meilleur, c'est pour nous tout ça bénéfice. For all the wonders you done for us all, spreading the culture all over the world. For all the good things that you done for God, that's what makes. We thanking you. We thanking you, brother.
Welcome to another edition or episode of Creole Heartbeat here on Q95, the big station. I'm your host, Julie Roberts. We are about to have a great one today, because today we are celebrating the greats. We're going to pause for a word from our sponsor, Digicel, then we'll be right back with you.
Ho, ho, ho! It's a Digicel Plus Christmas. Sign up for any of our Digicel Plus bundle packages and get a chance to win a home makeover plus $50,000 in cash and prizes. Yes, Digicel Plus is giving you more than ever before this Christmas. Plans start as low as $130. Enjoy our pause, play, and rewind feature while watching your favorite Christmas movies at your own convenience. Home. Have a DG Christmas in us and enter the new year with your new Digicel Plus home fiber plan. Visit a Digicel store today. Digicel Plus, the #1 broadband provider in Dominica. Terms and conditions apply.
Yes, this is Heartbeat here on Q95 FM. This morning, it is a beautiful sunny morning in Roseau. Portsmouth seemed okay for now. I didn't see any rain when I was leaving the house. And on my way up, what is it I saw? There was something that was memorable this morning. Oh, the cruise ship. I saw the cruise line, and there's one down by the port, and then I think there's one in Roseau also. But it was so beautiful to see tourists walking on our streets, and the buses are bustling, and it was just live, all that good stuff was there. So big up to the tourism industry here in Dominica. This morning it looked like a reality. Things were happening. You're watching couples walking along the boardwalk holding hands, and it was just really good to see. So I hope for this entire season, this is what we can expect. But, here at Creole Heartbeat, we big up everything that is great in Dominica. So I had to say good stuff for that one. It is November 24th, and we're going to send some birthday greetings this morning. This morning, I want to send birthday greetings to Charmaine Rowe, celebrating her 60th birthday. I hope you have a fantastic day. When you get to 60, It's only up from there. It's only good times and happiness. Also, want to send Aquinta Roberts Burton, my daughter, happy birthday. I hope you have a fantastic day. Well, I know you're going to have a fantastic day. Your day has started out great, and it shall continue in the name of the Lord to be a good day. Tons of blessings coming your way from your entire circle, from mommy, daddy, grandpa, grandma, uncle, auntie, everybody. Everyone loves you. Have a great day. And speaking about birthdays, today we're going to be speaking all about Mr. Alwyn Bully, who would have celebrated his 75th birthday yesterday. So happy belated birthday to him from the Creole Heartbeat family. And this morning we have Mrs. Bully on the line with us, so we can speak a little bit about how we are remembering a great man of our nation. Good morning, Mrs. Bully. How are you?
Good morning. I'm very good, thank you. And thank you for inviting me onto the program.
No worries, you're welcome. Can you hear us clearly?
Yes, we can hear very clearly.
Okay.
Very clearly.
Yes. So happy belated birthday to your late husband. We are celebrating him nationwide. I know the celebration started yesterday in the form of a movie night. Would you like to share that with the public, how it went, and just everything behind the genesis of it and everything like that?
Okay, yes. We think it's important that we remember quite a number of things that he did. So we're concentrating this time on his career in films and looking at films directed by him or films written and directed by him. We had we premiered, well, we didn't premiere, but we showcased some of those films last night. And he went back to making films like in the 1960s. And to now. So, of course, we saw a variety of stuff that he did. We have lost quite a bit in Hurricane David, because his journey in film really began with one which was called Two Loves Too Many in 1967, which he co-wrote and directed. That was lost in David, and he went on to do things, experimenting with documentaries and produce Super School, because then he was at the Dominica Grammar School, and he was trying to get the sports department vibrant again. And he filmed them there. He did the Girodel Flower Show, all that in 1976. And in 1977, he did Him, which is a film which was based on Jesus Christ Superstar, which was produced in Dominica. And it was shot in the Botanical Gardens, because you had at the back of the gardens with those big trees and part of it was shot at Old Mill. All over the place. It had one showing at the St. George's Hall in 1977, and after that we lost. Well, they shot it in 77, but I think it was edited and produced in 78. It got lost in 1970 in Hurricane David. Because in those days the film was done on, mediums and the ranges, all the films stuck together. So it was really a pity, because it was really a great production. After that, in 78, he wrote and directed a film for Decade Media out of LA. It's a 30-minute film, which was played all over in the Caribbean, and they dealt with family planning. And it was shown. I've been trying to get a copy of it, but I haven't been able to lay my hands on it. We contacted the producers who were in LA and have been unable to really get a copy since then. Hopefully somebody will have it in their archives. Then he did another one based on the Christmas story.
Sorry, one second. What was the name of that film?
Me Too, it's called.
Me Too.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Right.
and all local cast there.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was filmed here. Toto and the Tongue Visitors is a film based on the Christmas story which he wrote and directed. And it was shot in Roseau and Trafalgar and used all local actors, and was really, really popular. Of course, it was shot on video, so the quality has not been so good. So we're looking at the possibility of remounting it and ensuring that that is available, because it's a very interesting story. The three kings, he localized it, and the three kings were three old men he met in town. This young boy who, on Christmas morning, decides he was collecting money and going to town to shop. Mm-hmm. And he gets to town and we meet those three old men, one after the other, and they take him around and guide him and whatnot. So it was really an interesting story, and it was very popular. So we want to remount that. Then he did a documentary on Calypso and Bureau music for next year, called the Musical Powerhouse of the Caribbean. So he wrote the script for that and directed it. That showed last night. And there's another film it's a music video which he did for Lucas Band after Tropical Storm Erica. Remember that?
Yes.
Yes. So he did a music video for that, which showed that as well. And of course, we have Jose and the Masqueraders, which he wrote, directed, and produced with funding from the Caribbean Film Academy of New York in 2017.
Okay, so I know you have more to go. We're going to definitely get into it. But before you continue, I want us to go in a little bit about the fact that he was a music writer, or he wrote music, he wrote songs for Calypsonians and different people. We found that out when we had Miss Coffee Weeks on the show. She's definitely a thesaurus when it comes to Mr. Bully and a lot of things about our nation. So before we continue, I just want to read a little excerpt from Wikipedia. Imagine we have people on Wikipedia.
I know.
And then we can continue, but I think we're going to play a tribute that was a tribute to him when we get back. So let me just read this. Alwyn Anthony Bully was born on November 23rd, 1948, and he passed on the 10th of March, 2023. He was a Dominican cultural administrator, playwright, actor, and artist who designed the national flag of Dominica. Bully was bestowed with the Cicero Award of Honor, the nation's second highest honor, in 1985. He was responsible for establishing and developing Dominica's Department of Culture, or the Culture of Division, or Division of Culture, and was its first director. He was viewed in the island as a cultural icon. Bully's contributions were to art, culture, and also impacting areas of education and communication. And according to Dominican News Online, there was no Dominican more decorated and honored in those fields than Mr. Bully, whose influence extended to the wider Caribbean. This is a glorious piece to see on Wikipedia. How do you feel about this?
Well, Alwyn was a very humble person.
Yes.
He was a very humble person, and he did things which he felt would enhance Dominica and Dominica's culture. Mm-hmm. And he always said that and he had an amazing talent. I remember once the then Minister of Culture, Lauren Bannis Roberts, told me, "Your husband is amazing, you know. We got a design for, remember when they did reunion in '88, and they all felt that something was wrong with it. Alvin just took the thing and he just, in 2 minutes, just fixed up the logo which they published. And he said, that's so amazing. But he was
Yes.
also, he didn't think that he was exceptional. He felt his inspiration was not coming from him, it was coming from a higher being, because
Yes.
he would just, he, when it came to writing plays, it was amazing, okay? Because he would think of a topic, all of a sudden something would trigger his imagination, and he would think about it, and in 3 hours he writes a play. I mean,
Wow.
that is not physically possible. And when you look at his plays which he wrote, they were handwritten, all handwritten. In those days, we didn't have computers,
Mm-hmm.
okay? They had to be put on stencils and they had to be run up for the actors. But when you look at his plays, the minor alterations that are done to the script is amazing. So he had this natural talent, and he was able to use it, and he felt he was given this talent to use and to use for his country.
Okay, so we found a little tribute, and we just
Yes.
want to play a bit of it before we continue.
Was that? Say that
We
again?
just want to play a little bit of a tribute that we found, DJ Slim found, and then we will continue.
Okay, all
Yes.
right.
Father of nationhood, you gave us your life the best you could. And now that we're saying goodbye, we lift your name way up high. Your passion we envy. You taught us who we should be. You gave us that victory of one island, one culture, one people together in unity. Raise up flag, raise up flag. Limit is the sky. You labor for your country. Oh, your work is dignified. Symbol of one symbol. Taught us to be strong. So despite our struggles, your work will carry on. And on and on and on. So sad that you are gone, a gem of the Caribbean, a hero quite none has seen, a humble son of the soil, in service to one and all. You shaped our history, gave us a cultural identity. You gave us that victory. Now we stand as one people, one culture forever. Raise up flags up high. Limit is the sky. Labor for your country. Your work is dignified. A symbol of one people, one people. Strong. So despite our struggle, your work will carry on and on and on and on. So sad that you are gone, and though we know you are gone, we know your spirit lives on. You left a legacy of pride and dignity. Your light still shines like the sun, memories forever live on. We are so blessed to be part of your legacy. Raise up flags up high, limit is the sky. Labor for your country, your for your country. Symbol, taught us to be strong. So despite the struggles, your work will carry on. Limit is the sky. Labor for your country, your
That was the voice of Colin Exby, a tribute
Yes.
to Sir or Mr. Alwyn Bully. He was Sir Alwyn Bully, wasn't he?
No, not a sir, but
He
he
wasn't
was
a
a
sir?
doctor.
Oh, he was a
Doctor. He had a
doctor.
doctorate of letters, which
Okay.
was bestowed upon him by the University of the West Indies,
No.
Cave Hill campus. Yes, yes,
Okay, great job. I love
yeah.
that. It's
And
def
I think it captures the person who he was.
yes.
He's a very generous soul, and he thought about people. When you hear stories, people come to me and give me stories about Alwyn helping them when he was
Mm-hmm.
the headmaster of grammar school, and his mother couldn't pay for him, and they wanted to put him out. And Alwyn said, "No, no, no, I will keep him." And
Wow.
look at who he is today.
Yes.
And opportunities would come up for him, and he would say, "No, I'm sending such and such a person." He
Yes.
noticed talent in people, and he tried to assist them to develop that talent, getting scholarships for them to go and do art in Jamaica at the Edamame College for the Visual and
Yes.
Performing Arts. I mean, Earl and Anil went up there. The people, he got short courses, send them on short courses, send them to. And it was amazing. I got a call from Trinidad, like somebody who he met or who heard about him and went
Mm-hmm.
to him and how he helped them. But that was how Alwyn was. And he felt that if he had a talent, he was given a talent to do for his country and for his people. And he kept them at the center of all that he did. If he would see something that could be improved, he would sit down, do a sketch of it. I mean, writers would come to him and tell him, Mr. Bully, I wrote this play. I want you to look at it for me. I mean, he had a busy schedule, but he would make the time to sit down, read the script, call you back, sit down with you and discuss the script and where it can be improved, what he liked, what he didn't like, how it can be improved. So he was just that soul because he felt he was a messenger. He tried to share as much of himself that he could, so that was the amazing part of him. And he did it without thinking. He never charged for his work. I mean, he would come and you'd come to him for design. He would do the design and not charge for his work. I mean, it was just amazing. And he felt like nothing. I mean, he was getting a basic salary from government at the time, okay, as chief cultural officer. So if somebody came to him for work, he would do it and not think about it. But that was the type of person he was.
Okay. Definitely a great person. So he was responsible for establishing and developing Dominica's Department of Culture or Division of Culture or Cultural Division
Mhm.
today. And were you already at his side when this was happening?
I had been away for a short period because when he
Mm-hmm.
came back from Cave Hill and he was teaching at grammar school, as headmaster. They pulled him out to go and act as the manager of DBS for a while on two occasions. He was on the DBS board, and then he went back to culture and he stayed there until he moved to Jamaica. Um, the thing is, he was co-opted into it by the minister of culture at the time because they felt that he had a talent which could be used. They found this property which was donated, and so they worked at taking it from nothing, cleaning up the site, doing the documents for the establishment of the National Cultural Council, and all the volunteer work. He just
Mm-hmm.
got volunteers to come in, they cleaned the old mill area, they looked at the buildings, cleared the buildings, and then eventually when the NCC was established, they got the buildings repaired, and so and he was joined there by Pearl first, and then by Raymond. When Raymond finished with Radio Antilles, Raymond joined him there. So Pearl and Raymond were the only two. He was alone at first, and then with Pearl and Raymond, so they were the only three cultural officers there. And then gradually other people were co-opted. And then when he moved to UNESCO, Raymond took over, and then it has just been, it has moved on. And so,
Yes.
but, this is all pioneering work that he did.
Definitely.
Okay. And he encouraged art development. He encouraged playwrights, songwriters. As you were saying, a lot of people don't know that Alwyn was a songwriter. One of his songs came second at the OECS songwriters show they had in Jamaica. As you know, he wrote Folk Nativity, which has how many songs in it? And Ophelia sang three of those songs she has recorded. But all those songs were written by Alwyn, and the music was done by Alwyn and Einstein Blah. Because, strange enough, he could not play a musical instrument, okay? But he would have those songs going on in his head. And in the middle of the night, he would get up. I say, Alwyn, what's happening? Or he's just recording something going on in his head. So he had a recorder by his bedside. So he would just hum into it. And it was very frustrating for him, because I remember when he was doing this song for the OECS competition, he was sitting there with a guitarist from Trinidad in Jamaica. We were living in Jamaica at the time. And the thing is going on in his head, but I was so used to him, I know the process. And then the guy gets frustrated because the guy is not getting what he's telling him to do. And then he says, okay, use this chord, this chord, this chord. No, change the rhythm. This is how it goes. And he sings the rhythm for them so they get it. So he was able with Einstein to do all those songs that he did. Every single play of his has a theme song which he wrote for the play. Okay.
That's fantastic.
And then Folk Nativity is now being done by a young lady in New York. Parts of it for Christmas this year, at what they call the off-Broadway productions at one of the centers. She's doing it.
Very nice.
So the school that she works with is with the musicians, they are going to put on some of his work.
Okay. So
but that was him.
Yeah. So you were speaking about hearing him waking up at night and trying to put what is in his head onto paper. Tell us a little bit about what it was like when his design was chosen for the national flag of Dominica.
Well, it was a competition, and they asked for people to submit. So he submitted a design, and then they told him his design was selected. Alwyn did so many things. We didn't think anything big about it at the time. The design was chosen. And, of course, they had to, when it was first printed, they had to follow the laws of heraldry, which was not given when they put out the tender for the design. Okay, if you're putting out a tender for the design of the flag, the artist needs to know what are the laws of heraldry. And so that you don't put two primary colors together, you have to separate whatever. So they had to, after the design came out, then they had to do that and change the colors, where the colors were.
So the colors were not where they are.
They had to move it around. And then they did some other slight alteration. But it's one of the most popular flags in the world because people find it so beautiful. It's difficult to reproduce and expensive to reproduce because he uses so many colors. But it's one of the most beautiful flags out in terms of, what it looks like and, what it represents and that kind of thing. And I remember him being interviewed for when that same time when we got independence. And the Barbadian guy said, but came to interview him, and they couldn't understand, why would you design the national flag? But he was very young at that time.
Okay.
You're talking about what? How old was he? 20 something when he designed the flag. And I know a number of persons had sent in designs, but he just felt, okay, they're asking for design, let me think of it. And he just sit down and just do something. And everything had to have meaning for him. Okay, so he would think it off. His brain worked overtime. Yes, so he would think it off and just put it on paper. When he put it on paper, it just went smoothly.
So was this another 3 hour, like, you know what?
No, let me tell you, he does those things very quickly. He does those things very quickly. He sits there and he does it. He does a sketch. And even with his Parkinson, some of the drawings, intricate drawings, pen and ink drawings that he did, you wonder how he did it with Parkinson's. But he still felt the need to create, you know? And they say it's good for you because it keeps the brain active. It keeps the brain active to go.
It keeps dementia at bay.
Yes,
of any form. So he received the second highest national honor in 1985. So that means he was still a pretty young man at that time.
Yes, at that time, yes. He was still young at that time.
And being so humble, because you keep letting us know that he was really humble. He didn't do this. Yeah. Anything he did was not for the show and
not for money. He did it because he was asked to do it, one, or two, he felt it needed to be done.
So it wasn't a big deal for him to receive such an honor at such a young age.
Yes, I mean he accepted the honor, of course. Yes, it's good to be recognized for your work. Okay, but if he didn't get it, it would be no big deal to him. That was the type of person he was. Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Bully was viewed as an island icon. I'm not sure if any books have been written on, about his life story, but somebody like Mr. Honeychurch, I think it would be good to sit down and get some from your perspective, from what the public already know of him or knew of him, and put something together, because in 50 years, it will be great for our nations to still have that kind of information. So have there been a book written on?
No, as a matter of fact, I've been speaking to Lennox for a number of years now.
Oh Lord, I didn't know.
As Paul Lennox, I feel so sorry for him. He is so overwhelmed. So I told him, look, Lennox, I'm going to get all the information ready for you, and you will put it together.
Yes.
So I'm in the process of documenting a lot of his stuff. And the thing with Alvin, he wasn't only a Dominican, he was a Caribbean man.
Definitely.
Okay? And his influence in the region is really amazing because he has friends. Remember, he created the first drama club at Kayville campus. Because when he went to Kayville campus, was the first year Kayville opened. So there was no clubs for students. There were no organizations. He created a Carnival of Kayville, which worked out and came out into crop over. Okay? He designed carnival costumes for the Queen, and they had gowns made for them. I think Cheryl Trotter from Dominica was the first Kayville Carnival Queen, and they had the carnival on campus, which came out into crop over afterwards. In Jamaica, but besides that, he kept in contact with all the drama groups and creative people in the region, as far north as Jamaica and as far south as Trinidad. And when he went to Jamaica, he joined a company there called the Company Limited, which is a theater company. And that's what the Nightbox was produced by them. They did a version of Folk Nativity as well. And they did a major production of his, which has not been done in Dominica, and which we're trying to produce next year, called Macbeat, has not been performed in Dominica at all, and it's a Caribbean version of Macbeth, and based in modern times and with rastas as witches and those kind of things. Because he Caribbeanizes everything and sets it in locations, whether it be Dominica or Jamaica or St. Kitts or wherever. And whilst he was there, the theater work that he did was just out of this world, because he was able to let his imagination flow. Because he worked with Father Holong and Friends, which is a company run by a Catholic priest.
Mm-hmm.
And they have what they call hospices. They take in people who are destitute, crippled, or have some ailment, and their family puts them out on the street because they can no longer deal with them. And then the hospices would take them in, and the brothers would look after them and bathe them and feed them and cut their hair and that kind of thing. And because he was doing that, there were sponsors in Jamaica that would give hundreds of thousands of dollars to productions done by Father Holong to raise funds for these hospices to keep them going. And when they discovered Alwyn in Jamaica, they co-opted him, and he started directing from there for, over 10 years, over 15 years he was directing plays for Father Holong. And after he passed, I remember Father Holong calling me and telling me, and he said, your husband was an amazing person. When they were doing Moses, he told Father Holong, we have to part the Red Sea. So Father Holong said, but Alwyn, how are you going to part the Red Sea? He says, I don't know, but it will happen.
Yeah.
And he parted the Red Sea. And Father Holong used to perform in the arena, which holds 10,000 people. And I remember the first showing of Moses being there with 10,000 school children. And when the Red Sea parted, you could not do anything. The noise, the children screamed, they stood on the chair, actually parted the Red Sea.
Wow. Beautiful memories, memories.
So he was that kind of person, but he was lucky because in Jamaica, you have technicians working with Father Holong. So he tell them, let's try that. Can we try industrial fans? Can we try yards of cloth, even if it's 100 yards of cloth to part the Red Sea? How are we going to do it? Who are we going to get to pull it down so that the sea parts and the crowd goes through? So he had that support. So he was able to let his imagination just go wild. And that was a fabulous period for Alwyn, because he was able to just bring out his creativity and do some amazing things. And I'm very thankful for him for that period in Jamaica where he was allowed to let his talent flow.
Yes, in the entire Caribbean, when we spoke about Nightbox and we did a little background on him, he basically went to most of the Caribbean islands, and everyone spoke so highly of him. Another thing which was said is that Mr. Bully's contributions were to art, culture, and also impacting areas of education, communication, and every other area. So I don't know if there's already an Alwyn Bully Foundation. I think there is, but are we putting anything in place that our young people can come through and be able to excel in art, excel in communication, excel in, in all these areas? Because, to have somebody who did all this, it is so nice to know that his foundation would not just be for one thing, but that it can actually aid so that we can have students like that.
Yeah, because that is one of the ideas of the foundation is to ensure that scholarships are provided for fields in culture. Because we don't pay enough attention to culture. We think culture is a hobby. It is not a hobby. It is an investment in an education that will give you a skill where you can make money from. Okay? So being an artist, you can make money from art.
Mm-hmm.
You can make money from theater. I mean, in Dominica, we don't put enough emphasis on that. And we're working with the Ministry of Culture. We had preliminary discussions with the minister in terms of ensuring that at least one scholarship a year is given in the cultural field. And it can be done. We have the Edna Manley College in Jamaica, where they can do not only 2-year courses, but short courses for dance, for visual arts, for, drama, you name it. You can do that at the Edna Manley. UWI Mona, UWI St. Augustine has courses in not only the arts, but in not only in the arts, but in things like carnival industry.
Yes.
Carnival is an industry.
Definitely.
And they have courses which they offer in arts management, you just name it. So and also in Cuba, which is a partner of Dominica, there's a film school. Okay, Jamaica has how you call it, a media center and media school, but they also have a film program. But there is a film school in Cuba which people should be going to, and give the opportunities for scholarships there as well. So there is room for that development, and we're hoping, together with the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Culture, we can get something done about that.
Okay, very well. Being the wife of such a pioneer, what was it like before we wrap up and speak about what's happening tonight and what happened last night? What was it like being the wife of a multi-faceted, multi-talented icon? What was it like?
Yeah. Well, he used to tell me, I would bring him down to earth sometimes because, sometimes he has dreams that are just, you just say, Alwyn, they're not ready for that, Look at his dream for the waterfall. I hear it's supposed to be coming through, but, but people don't have the vision that he has, which is, it's more than just putting a waterfall there. You have to light the waterfall. You put music with the waterfall, okay? So that a ship at night sitting out there having dinner, okay, could be exposed to a display just like they do in Vegas. So these things can be done. You have to think big. You see, sometimes I think our mountains squash our brains a bit, but but he was a big thinker. He thought outside of the box, yes. So, there's still a lot to be done, There's still a lot to be done. And so we're hoping scholarship programs in various fields will put us on a better footing. We need to get the youth on board. Because, like, for instance, last night, the place was packed. When you looked at the audience, except for the young people who were who acted in the films years ago and came to see themselves, it was mainly the older generation who came. So that is why this afternoon we're trying to reach the schools. You see, we want to get the schools in there. They need to know that they can be a playwright. They can be a film director. They can be an actor. There are possibilities for them. Okay? And besides those following, Sorry, hold on 1 second.
No worries. We are speaking with.
Besides following foreign people in America, actors, and following their life story, learn about your country, learn about your people, and we're not into that. How do we get them involved in that? And a concerted effort has to be made to get young people involved in the arts in Dominica, in learning about their culture, in appreciating the culture. You see, so we hope this afternoon we can get the schools there. It's at 2:30 at Emerald Theatre. And we're hoping that the parents will encourage their children to come to see the film, the films that he did, and let them dream, let them create their own films.
How much is it?
It's, I think it's, I'm not sure now. Oh my goodness. Gloria will kill me. I think it's $15 for children, $15 for children, I think. And they have a prize for adults as well. You know, Gloria is going to kill me. Did she give it to you?
No, she didn't. Miss Augustus is there shaking her head.
I know, she must be saying, oh my God, Anita, how can you forget this? Okay, I have so much on my brain today. Yes.
All right, so basically, what films are going to be played today?
We have, the program includes The Garden, which was a short film, which was shot and produced as part of a training exercise on film directing and editing, which was run by a Cuban facilitator. He's a filmmaker editor, Oriel Rodriguez. And we have the documentary on Bouillon music that's going to be as well, Calypso and Bouillon music. Then there's one of the films by Gloria Augustus, Pretending Reality. It's a film based on one of her prize-winning stories. And it was adapted for film after a workshop which was conducted by Amber Chivans, a Jamaican screenwriter. And it's really an interesting story which went down extremely well. And we have Dominica, We Rise Again, We Shall Rise Again, which is the music video he did for Lucas Band after Hurricane Erica. Yes. And It Only Takes One, which is based on a play written by Gloria Augustus and was adapted for screen by Gloria Curtis and Alwyn, and stars members of the Joint Secondary School Drama Group and Friends. Of course, produced by La Coup des Arts, and with significant support from the HIV unit, and funded by the Dominica Social Investment Fund. Yes. Because it deals with issues of single women households, as well as sexual abuse, and raises a current issue of youth from indigenous families being lured to engage in sexual practice for monetary gain, and also the abuse of minors. So it's a very important film, which was very well done and which the audience really appreciated. And of course, always Osei and the Masqueraders, we end with that. Yeah, which is a very coming of age story of a young boy who must conquer his fear of the bad movie if he is to follow the family tradition. Yes. So that film was written and directed by Alwyn. It was his last film production and was produced by CAFA out of New York. Yes, so they get a good... So when they see it, they can see that they themselves can create stories. They can make films, So it's good that they know what was, what can be done. Because what I liked about the exposition of the films was it started in 1967 and moved. And you see the quality we had in 67 coming up. And as we reach to OCE, which is in HD, because of the type of equipment we had at the time or had access to at the time. So you see the qualities, even with those qualities, we were able to document those things and the importance of documenting those stories.
Okay, so we are speaking with Mrs. Alwyn Bully, or Mrs. Anita Bully. I know people all call you
Yes,
Mrs.
Mrs.
Okay,
Anita Bully, wife of
Alwyn
Alvin Bully.
Bully. Yes, and she is speaking a little bit about her late husband's life and his body of work. Also,
uh,
this afternoon at 2:30, we're welcoming the younger public to go to the Emerald Cinemas where some of his films will be played. We think the price is $15.
it is
But
yeah.
it is definitely for a good cause. He was a great man. He was also an icon of our nation and definitely a pioneer in his own right. So if you're listening today at 2:30 p.m., Emerald Cinemas will be a great place to send your child so that they can learn a little bit about our nation and also a little bit about film writing. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning. I know you're having a really busy day, but you took your time
Yes.
out to be here with us on Creole Heartbeat. So we appreciate it. And
And thank you for
congratulations.
having me. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're
Okay.
welcome. You're
All
welcome.
right. Thank you very, very much.
No worries.
Okay. Bye now.
Okay, bye bye. So, yes, everyone who was listening or who've been listening, that was Mrs. Anita Bully, and she's welcoming you out to go to Emerald Cinema today. We have a call, so you can see that play from Mr. Alwyn Bully for the children. Good morning, Creole Heartbeat.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Well, I just want to congratulate Miss on the show there now. And
Yes.
that lady is a lovely lady.
I
And I
know.
want to congratulate her for coming on the station for, you know, talking about her husband, Mr. Bully, because I find there should be some portrayal of Mr. Bully in the Windsor Park or Bayfront or some kind of thing, because Mr. Bully was too talented in his mind in himself. And Mr. Bully is a man, that he inspire me to do things because I really go back playing music, and if you watch the color. That color was given to me by God, that gift of painting. And Mr. Bully was the man that really pushed me into push it. And he wanted to take out a picture and have me into his scene as good. So when we lost legends like that, we must have little portrait like the Bala, close to the Bala, Mr. Alwyn there on a little thing there, a piece of metal pen. So when the people come, they can see and know about our culture and what that man has done. But every time somebody dies, there is nothing to really portray. And it is not the family that know a little thing and educate it, will never bring it out. So I'm now calling on
Yes.
those in authority to let us have a little portrait different in
People
the
can take
garden
pictures with
somewhere.
him, with
All
us.
right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
ma'am, and thanks for your courage. You know what I mean? That's your partner, you know your partner. That's your
My
partner.
partner.
All right. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Thank you. Have a great day. And I do agree with that. And especially this morning, we're just talking about seeing tourists in town. It would be so nice that they can take pictures with our icons of our nation. That would be fantastic. But it's Friday. It's Friday. It's a happy day. It's the 24th of November. The day, it's Black Friday, isn't it? Black Friday. It's a shopping day. It's the day that tout l'argent est fini. So enjoy your weekend. Don't overdo, but and make sure you get in on all the deals. I'm pretty sure Digicel have some deals. Our sponsor, go on over and see if you can get a new telephone. Switch your phone over from the competition to Digicel and have yourself a great weekend. Happy belated birthday again to Mr. Alwyn Bully. And to those celebrating today, like my beautiful princess, happy birthday. Have a great weekend to everyone who's listening. I'm Julie Roberts, and this was another edition of Creole Heartbeat on Q95 FM. Have a great weekend.